Okay, I'm going to pull up my slides. Velina Mekialoha, aloha no. To all of you, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your interest in the KūHana program. The KūHana program sits among one of several or many programs that we do to engage and support the community. I am particularly excited about this because it's a part of our economic development programs here at Cnha, and we're just I'm just so lucky to be able to do this work, and I'm really excited to share it with you folks tonight. Okay, exactly. Luann had it right. I was just going to move on to that. So if everybody on the call, if you could say aloha from and wherever you're calling in from in the chat feature, that'll be super helpful. Just like Luann did. Aloha from Ho'olehua Molokai. Aloha no. I'll do it too. Aloha. And this is why I absolutely love being able to do virtual programs. We can engage everybody on every single island. No one has called in from Kaho'olawe yet. I'm still waiting. Okay, right on. Kalaipohaku, right down the road from me, right on. Waianae of a beach, right on. Excellent. Thank you, everyone, so much. Oh, I think we got everyone. Oh, no, we're missing someone from Hawaii Island representing, but Maui County is going strong. We have Kauai. Excellent. Well, you are all here tonight for the KūHana information session. This is just, it was a strategy for us to engage those who are interested in applying for our program, getting any of the information they might need to apply, and submitting their application with all the information necessary. This is our agenda tonight. We already went through the alohas. I'm going to intro myself a little bit more in depth than what I do. We're going to review the entire program, what it's going to look like. And you can see there that it's broken up into 2 rounds. We're going to go through the application itself. If anyone has any questions, we're going to go talk about some eligibility requirements, the things that we're looking for in an applicant. And then we're going to talk about expectations and outcomes from all of you folks, and what are expectations of you as a participant, and what are the outcomes that you're going to walk away with. And that's when Dallas, I'm going to have my friend Dallas here also kind of share a little bit about the outcomes that she was able to walk away with. And then we're going to end the night with a Q&A, question and answer. Aloha again, my name is Max Mukai. I started here at Cnha. Back in July, right in the middle of the pandemic. I was able to jump on board, and I was so grateful for the opportunity, getting to work with Oiwi businesses, local businesses here in Hawaii. What do I do? I'm the KūHana program manager at Cnha. KūHana helps small businesses to clarify their purpose, product, and plan so they can position themselves for future growth. That's my quick pitch. That's one of the many things you're going to walk away with during the program. You all have access to the slides in your email. You can review this more about who I am and what I do here at Cnha. So this is our kahua metaphor. Each of the classes that we've put together, you could think of it as a stone that is a part of the foundation that your business grows upon. And we're really into pohaku as far as the branding of our program. And yeah, and so this next slide, you can see here that each of the classes, each pohaku that you see here is a building block for you to learn from, apply to your business, and grow your business with these skills and this information. I will say I'm gonna grant access to everybody on the call if they want to unmute and stop me and be like, hey, try to clarify that one point, or go back and talk more about this. Because it's a smaller group tonight, totally willing to do that. So go ahead, stop me at any time that you might have questions. So the class is gonna, let me jump back here. You'll see there's a round 1 orientation and a round 2 orientation. All the round 1 class, the KūHana cohort 5 is broken up into 2 parts. We have the round 1 and then round 2. Round 1 is more foundational classes where you can listen and learn. And then round 2 is where we dive into writing your business plan, learning the things that we need to understand about our business, our market, and include it into our business plan. And then eventually take that business plan, develop a business pitch out of it. The business pitch is going to be 2 to 3 minutes. And then you'll be able to present that pitch during your hoike. And I'll go through all of these blocks more. So you can see here, this is the round 1 curriculum. These 6 classes are what you'll be going through if accepted into the KūHana program. And each of these classes are going to take place the first or the week of June 7th. This little class tacked on to the front here, this is for an optional class. If you think that you are not an expert at Google or Zoom, it's actually required that if accepted into the program round 1, you're going to have to attend this technology and application class. This class is super foundational for you to be able to operate on a virtual class platform, okay? This round 1 orientation, bear with me now, I'm just going to go through it. Stop me if you have any questions. Round 1, it's the orientation to the KūHana cohort round 1. I'm going to be leading the class. We're going to be diving into our lean startup plan. That's going to be the first thing that we work on. It's a form of a business plan. It's really high level, but the lean startup is the best place to get your ideas down at a high level. And then we use the elements in that plan to grow from there and to expand our business plans. We're also going to begin developing a quick pitch, which is basically like an elevator pitch. I don't quite like to use that metaphor, but it's going to be, it's just too cliche already. But the quick pitch is just like a quick high level 2-sentence explanation of who you are and what you do. The next class after that is going to be your values deck and Hawaiian culture integration class. This is a class that's going to be taught by both Kuha'o Zane and Mahina Paishan and Kealoha Fox. Now, who are these folks? Kuha'o Zane, as you guys might have recognized, the last name Zane. He's the son of Sig Zane, the amazing designer and business owner and operator down in Hilo. They're going to be sharing with us their company's values and how they were able to develop them and how their values drive their business and their business operations. The other folks on the call that night are going to be working with us on how to incorporate Hawaiian culture. How do we make our business more meaningful with appropriate Hawaiian cultural integration? And the best folks in town to do that are Mahina Paishan and Kealoha Fox of Vai Consulting. Hi, Kathy, you're just joining us. Sorry, you're gonna have to play catch up with everybody, or this call is being recorded though, for you can review what you missed later, okay? Thank you for being here. The class after that is website development. That's going to be taught by Kavenale Apau, none other than a staffer here at Cnha. She's the main content generator here at Cnha, and it's just a whiz online and creating an online presence. She's going to be teaching the website development course, and then the following course is going to be social media development. She has a particular social media calendar planner that you can, she'll be going over with you folks later as a tool. The next class is one of my favorites. It's the tax strategy class. To me, every business that runs through the KūHana business program, I want them to be empowered by being able to look at taxes as a way it's something that's going to happen, but what can we do to best prepare for it and manage it? Ken does a really excellent job. He's an amazing accountant, financial analysis whiz, and he is one of the best people I would totally trust with being able to explain what, the tax situation and how to create a best tax strategy for your company. Really excited about that class. Then the next class is going to be the final class of round 1 is going to be Cnha loan fund. That's going to be taught to us by Nancy King. She's a loan fund specialist here at Cnha, and she's going to go over what you folks are here, what you should prepare for, and how to apply. During that Cnha loan fund class is where we're going to talk about the application process for round 2. So you have to apply for round 1, go through round 1, and then apply for round 2. So if you meet the minimum requirements for round 1 and complete all of the assignments that are required in round 1, and your application looks good for round 2, then you will be accepted into round 2, which we'll go over now. It's a little more in depth. It's the longer part of it's a longer than round 1. We'll have Cnha, or first of all, does anyone have any questions about going from round 1 to round 2? Okay. Kathy, sorry, you might be a little lost right now, but it's okay. All right. So moving into round 2, this is where we're going to begin writing the full-length business plan using everything that we have learned before in round 1, and then moving forward and building upon what we have so far. So round 2 orientation with Max, with me. We're going to be going over our KūHana worksite, which is basically your landing page for all the things that you'll need and all the resources that you'll need. And then we're going to dive into writing out a first draft of business plan during that first orientation. Your market research class is going to come next. This is critical. It's going to be taught to us by Omar Sultan with Sultan Ventures, Omar is also the owner or partner, managing partner with Accelerate Hawaii. They are a really amazing and innovative and transformative venture capitalist firm here in Hawaii. And they are going to be teaching us about TAM, SAM, SOM. I'm not going to go into that right now, but basically that's your market, your TAM, your SAM, and your SOM. And that's your analysis. Then the next required course, it's going to be broken up 1-to-1. We're not going to be all meeting at one time. It's going to be the week of the 4th of July week, where you'll be able to check in with me for one 30-minute session to make sure that you're up to speed and you're on the right page and you have all the information ready to move forward. After that, you're going to be jumping into business strategy class / pricing calculator. Ken is going to show up again, our tax guy. He's going to show up again, and he's going to be going over he's an amazing business strategist, and he is going to be going over a tool that he created with us called the pricing calculator. And it basically is going to be answering, are you charging enough? And if not, how much do you need to charge in order to make not only your company thrive, but in order for you to make a living, a livable wage here in Hawaii. It's an amazing tool. It's transformative. Everybody gets all hung up on it because they can't wrap their minds around, because entrepreneurs, they always consider themselves close with their business rather than separating themselves from the business. It's a little bit of a psychological hurdle that we need to overcome. Really wonderful growth opportunity there. Then we'll run into our cash flow analysis course. It's going to be taught by me. It's going to be basically, do we understand our cash flow? Is it something that we can, what does our cash look like moving forward? And this cash flow analysis is everything is in relation to your business plan and what is set forth in the plan. And so basically your cash flow is your business plan, but in numbers form. After that, we're going to have Omar jump in again. And he's going to be going over market analysis. So the first part, it was market research, and then basically market analysis. Who are my competitors and where do I stand in the market? It's going to be another wonderful class there. After that, we're going to expand our business plan even further. We're going to take another session to be, okay, based off of your research, your business calculator, your cash flow, your market analysis, what is my business plan? What should it look like at this point? And that's what we're going to dive into. So we're building. And this class is going to be like, okay, let's make sure our foundational stones are set so that we can keep on going. Now, Cnha Loan Fund Part 2, for those who get into round 2, Cnha, it's not required, but we're going to give you all the tools that you need to be able to complete a loan application. Does anybody in the crowd ever heard of the term Cdfi? If you have, you can unmute yourself. You can say what it is, or you can type it into the chat on what Cdfi might mean. Okay, not yet. I'm hearing crickets, so I'm just going to answer it for the class. It's a community development financial institution, Cdfi, and that's what Cnha is. Council for Native Hawaiian Advancement is a Cdfi. And does anybody know what's the difference between a Cdfi and a regular bank, perhaps? Basically, we as a loaning institution, we are not beholden to shareholders and private shareholders. Basically, our loan fund is, will this capital that goes out into the community support our community? And that is, we are beholden to the community, basically, right? And how can we use our loan institution to support our community? And that is through, one way is through giving out business loans to support economic growth, okay? So that's why we spend 2 classes going over our loan fund. We had an amazing coach from KS partner with us last session, and she'll be returning with us for the business pitch development class. And basically, she's going to be able to share with you what is your business plan currently, and how do you say it? How do you explain your entire business plan, what your objectives are, what you need to get your objectives accomplished within a 2 to 3 minute window. And that's what this is the first of 2 classes that you're gonna use to prepare your business pitch to present at the final ho'ike, which I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here. Coach Amy is gonna hang out with us again for a second class, and I'll be supporting that class as well. With the business pitch 2, we're gonna spend basically 2.5 classes on it, and then prep for our ho'ike. There's a few things that at that point you should already have together that you're just going to pull together for your ho'ike, which is going to be the final graduation class. Okay, that's the entire curriculum, round one and round 2. Any questions at this point? Okay, I just go and holomua then. Thank you so much. Nothing in the chat. Okay, ready to go. So your application, right? So you folks are here to learn about our application. I hear someone unmute. Shaw, question?
Yeah, sorry. No question.
Okay, I'm gonna mute you again. Is that okay? Oh, okay, you did it. Okay, thanks. So in the slide deck, or basically anybody right now can apply online at www.hawaiiancouncil.org/KūHana. Applications are due at the end of the month, May 31st, okay? So if you are interested, and if you know people who are interested in getting training, writing a business plan, and developing a business pitch, have them complete their application. You better complete your application by May 31st, okay? After May 30, comment in the chat. Oh, thanks, Amy. Coach Amy's on the call tonight. Thanks for being here. The app is due May 31st. When is the app due, Shaw? May 31st. Yes, mahalo. Okay. I'm going to skip over to eligibility, then we can go through the application itself if anybody has any questions. The eligibility of the class is we're preferring that on the class or on the application, you're going to indicate basically all the classes that you can attend. And the eligibility, the ones that we're going to be prioritizing are those who can attend 100% of round 1 and round 2. So you'll see in the application where you can see all the dates and times and be able to determine, is this the right time? Do I have enough time in my schedule coming up that I can attend all of these classes? That's number 1. Number 2, video conference capability on your computer. I see some folks have tuned in on their phone. That's amazing. Thank you for being here. But during the class, you need to have a computer so you can be working. Most of our classes are working meetings where you're going to be collaborating on documents together. You'll be hearing instruction, and then you'll be expected to apply what you've heard within that next minute. And so folks who just think that this is a class where you tune in on your phone, it's not going to be as beneficial if you have a computer to be able to work on, okay? Now, what people do is have a computer they can work on, and then they tune in on their phone. So that works as well. Just having your phone alone will not work, though, okay? Your company must be registered and in good standing with the DCCA. Now, if you have been operating without registered company, that's fine. I would suggest you go ahead and get registered with the DCCA. If you have any questions on how to do that, I can personally set up meetings with you to help walk you through that process. But this is a number 1 requirement. If your business is not registered and in good standing with the DCCA, does anyone know why they might, or Cnha would require that? It sort of at the same time and not at the same time has to do with your tax and compliance as a business. Anyone have any idea why we might require that as a requirement? Any guesses? Oh, someone in the chat. Accountability for all the funding given. Okay. Accountability. That was the word that stood out for me. We have had businesses come through our program that are not registered with the DCCA, and we have most of them do. And for those who don't have their business registered with the DCCA, there's a level of commitment that's not quite there. It doesn't become as real for you until you make that leap. So when you indicate that you are or are not a registered company with the DCCA, basically that's fine. As of today, if you were to work on that tomorrow, you will be registered and in good standing with the DCCA before the program starts, okay? So that's something for you to consider. Tuition is $250. When is that due? If you are accepted into round 2. So round 1, if you get into round 1, no tuition, okay? If you get into round 2, tuition will be due at that point. Who is this class? Who is this program for? It is for-profit businesses primarily, or it is for nonprofits with revenue-generating business models, right? So we had a nonprofit, the Iolani Palace. Anyone heard of the Iolani Palace before? Okay, so they're a nonprofit, right? But they have a revenue-generating business model, right? Their operations, they receive donations, right, for operations to run the palace. But a lot of their income comes from their business operations. And so If you're a nonprofit, well, thank you, Luann, for all of your, thank you, Luann, for answering in the chat. Appreciate it. Yeah, so if you are a nonprofit, or if you know nonprofits that have that type of revenue generating model, this is a good program for them as well. If you are an expert with Zoom and Google, okay? Now, if you're not an expert with Zoom and Google, it is required that you attend that first technology and application class. Oh, I have a hand raised, but she's also fearless, or okay, no hand. Okay, it was just a trick. Okay, so okay, moving on. And my number one eligibility requirement is if you are ready to work. This class takes up a lot of time, and you folks are all super busy. The folks who you need to be able to balance and carve out time and prioritize this program for the entire period of the class, which is 9 weeks only. And it's going to require some time though. And the folks that are ready to work are the ones that really walk away, really transformed with their company, with their business objectives, and they have a really clear direction of what to do moving forward. Any questions on eligibility? Let me scan. Okay, moving right along. So expectations and outcomes. Round one, what can you expect? You'll have a completed lean startup plan. You'll have a quick pitch developed. You'll be able to develop your values deck, and you'll be able to have a high knowledge understanding of Hawaiian cultural integration into your business, website development, tax strategy, and a Cnha loan fund, or sorry, website development and social media development, tax strategy, and a Cnha loan fund, what it's about, what the application is like. If you get into round two, what are you expecting? A full business plan. Oh, Shaw, question?
Max, I got a question as far as eligibility.
Yeah.
I'm not a business owner. I'm thinking of opening a business. Is this the right class for me?
It could be. We'll talk more about it. We have other resources for folks who might be who are in your position, who are maybe right at the cusp, but I want to maybe get a little bit more about where you're at. But we can talk after, okay?
Good.
Ideally, this class would be for folks who are in operation and they've been able to demonstrate operation for at least 1 to 2 years, right? 12 months or more. But we'll talk more about that, okay? What are you going to get out of round two? Business plan, a full-length business plan, your unique value propositions, your market research, and your market analysis. You'll be able to have your financial analysis tools. You'll be walking away with a 3-minute pitch that you can use for funding and pitch to investors and etc. And you'll be able to have a completed Cnha loan fund that you don't need to submit if you don't need a loan at this time, but you'll have all the components necessary for you to complete a loan fund. And so, yes, round one, after round one, you have to apply and graduate to round two. And everything will be evaluated. So your lean plan, your lean startup plan will be evaluated, your quick pitch, your values deck, your participation, your willingness to work and be on time and ready and prepared. All of these things will be evaluated moving into round two. Okay, so I'm going to open up the floor to any questions at this time. Before I'm going to stop sharing at this point. And then I'm going to bring up another slide that shows the schedule. But Q&A at this moment. Shaw, that was a great question. Kathy, I'm trying to call Mahialani. I know you guys, Kelikia, Travis, Luann, Mehana, questions, Mehana? I'm gonna bring up the schedule now for you. Oh wait, let me check the chat.
Max, really quick while you're checking the chat. Aloha, everyone. This is Amy. Super excited for Max's next cohort here with you guys. I just wanted to make a comment because you're talking about DCCA. I think one of the other things there too is, Max, are you guys still including Cnha membership?
Yes. So I'll talk a little bit more about that. For folks who get into round 2, upon graduation, you'll be granted a 1-year business membership with Cnha. That comes with all kinds of other benefits, everything from like us doing your website for you, or being able to consult on a website, being able to boost your SEO services. We have some resources for credit repair. All of that stuff happens after graduation from KūHana as part of your membership benefits, as not only a business membership or to Cnha, which is valued right now at $500, but you'll also have other benefits being a part of the or as a graduate of KūHana cohort. One really interesting benefit is that if you were to apply for a Cnha loan fund, and if you were awarded, let's say your business loan percentage interest rate is 5%. As a KūHana graduate and a member of Cnha, your 5% interest rate would be discounted to 4%. So a whole percentage off, right? So if you were awarded a loan at 4%, it would be 3%.
So Max, I just wanted to, the reason why I was bringing up DCCA and asking about if everybody that is in the program and graduating the program would be a member is because I know one of the things you guys work really hard to do is connect members. And I think, with Max's program, getting businesses ready to roll so that, when there's an email and sharing the graduates that you guys are ready to get new clients from other Cnha members, that's a big part of growing the whole economy. And so I just wanted to make that note. That's part of that requirement, is making sure that businesses are ready to roll so you guys can take on new clients and new contracts.
Excellent point. KūHana is really an opportunity, kind of like a springboard to the next level. We're really, I'm super proud of the progress that you hear of KūHana graduates post-graduation, post-program. You hear about wonderful opportunities that they're getting into, potential investments that come their way. I think this is a great segue. If our friend Dallas is still there, maybe she can share some of the things that she got out of the KūHana program and a little bit of the direction that she's going to go into next. If she doesn't, oh, there she, okay. Thanks, Dallas, for being here. Go ahead, tell them what you got out of it. What's going on with you next, and yeah. Dallas.
So, aloha. My name is Dallas Stewart. I'm the co-founder of Hawaiian-owned Trading Company. I help Hawaii-based food and beverage brands incubate, accelerate, and scale so that they can get ready for retail distribution. So what I just said was my quick pitch, which was, prior to joining KūHana, I couldn't even really articulate. People would ask, "Oh, what do you do?" And I'm like, it was very difficult. I mean, I knew what I did, but it was very difficult for me to articulate that. So, going through the program with Amy and Max and Hana and, Cnha really helped me understand, really what I did as a business and why I did it. And it was great to go through that in a cohort structure, rather than just, me somewhere in a corner writing my business plan, because oftentimes it's very helpful to go through things together with other people who are experiencing the same anxieties and trials and tribulations. Doing business in Hawaii is extremely difficult, not only because of the cost, but just logistics. So, that was the biggest takeaway, being able to articulate what I can do easily, and I'm confident when I say it now. So that's one. Secondly, just being able to, as Max was saying and Amy was saying, a big part of Cnha, they're so active in the community that they can give you the insight into what's going on in the business atmosphere. I mean, COVID really shed light on some of the opportunities that maybe didn't exist prior. And, you know, it's a very dynamic market out there. And because of how active Cnha is, they can give you insight into opportunities that are coming down the pipeline, and, you know, just getting resources for like people like KūHana and, you know, what is that, Sultan Ventures. These people would have been, for myself, would have been somebody I would never have been able to speak to. But I mean, you're taking the time to really take an intimate look at your business. It's a one-on-one experience, even though you are in a cohort structure. It's very structured to your own business. So I'm very much blessed to have been even accepted through Max's grueling interview process. So luckily I made it through the first the first round to even get in. And, you know, so what's next? I was able to meet, because of the nature of my business being in food, I was able to meet up with a few other like-minded businesses in the cohort. And we're currently working on co-producing a few products that I hope you'll see on the shelves sometime soon. But, you know, just that, you know, making the connections that, you know, I'm with somebody called Roberta Tyra. She owns a Mamaki farm, and I never would have even been remotely connected to her if it wasn't through KūHana. And yeah, so again, just one, being able to articulate what your business is, you know, taking a really intimate look at your business plan, and just making the connections that you might not have otherwise been able to do. And of course, having Max and Amy around doesn't, you know, is definitely awesome. Even after. So, and again, I'm from cohort 3, so this is cohort 5, and I'm still here. So they're not all that bad. So mahalo for the opportunity to speak.
Right on, Dallas. Thanks so much. She's also playing it cool. She just was KūHana graduates from the last cohort were invited to participate at the Mahiai Scale Up competition, where she ended up winning top prize with Mahiai Scale Up. And yeah, so thank you, Dallas. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a shining example to Oiwi businesses, local businesses here in Hawaii. Appreciate it. Okay, so let's give you folks a little bit more an idea of the schedule, or anything else from Amy at this point.
A'ole, mahalo nui.
Thank you. Oh, okay, Luann, aloha.
Hi, hello from Ho'olehua, Molokai. My question is, the difference between grants and loans is huge. Is there anything coming down the pike for grants? Because I know we did it during COVID and we were able to get a few things through Maui County, you know, the deer problem that we have here on the island, and then the other events they allowed us to do. So do you see, or do you know of anything? Because the difference with grants, more reporting. Loans, you just said 4%. So can you expound on that?
Thank you, Luann. Appreciate it. Thank you for calling in. So for our program purposes, we don't necessarily focus on any sort of grants. These are the grants. If grants come up, we're always constantly sharing resources with one another. And so being a part of Cnha, yes, any grant information that comes up, we PPP loans, we ran our own PPP loan seminar last week. We do everything we can to provide as much information as possible. But for the 9 weeks that we have with you, it's all about not so much understanding what grants can I go after, but more so understanding about what capital, how much capital do I need to make my plans go from here to here and skyrocket beyond. And we also need to understand the class also provides what type of capital I need. So some folks might understand that, okay, if I get a loan for this amount and then match it with a loan fund or with a loan capital, this plan will work out fine. Or I might need an equity investment from somebody else, or I just need a line of credit perhaps. And so we have more resources also to understand what types of capital that you need. Of course, business grants, that's the holy grail, right? But like Luann said, there's a lot of reporting that goes into that. Another one of the benefits of Cnha as a for-profit business is that you can go after grants. If you're a for-profit business, you can go after grants as a business member. You can use Cnha as your nonprofit. Shoot, what's the term, Amy? Underwriter, not
Fiscal sponsorship.
Thank you, Luann. Thank you. Yes, fiscal sponsor. That's should be one of the buzzwords that I have on hand all the time. Call my fiscal sponsor. So that's another one of the great benefits of being a business member of Cnha is that you have access to that type of resource. Mahealani came off, or she came on camera. I'm assuming there's a question. Mahealani, aloha. No, okay. Just wanted to tell everybody you're here. Okay, any other questions at this point? Because I'd like to jump into the schedule next, just to show you guys a breakdown of time. Yeah, Luann, aloha.
Sorry, one more. So micro businesses, if you know small businesses, what is the difference for those of us are micro businesses? We're not large and in charge, but we want a piece of the pie. We want to get engaged. And yes, we're going to take the course if we're accepted. But how does it affect micro businesses? We have to do the CB, the small business thing. We have to apply for the SAMs. We got to get our DUNS number. Can you give me any insight on micro businesses?
So as far as I know, small business is considered any business that has 500 employees or less. Which if I had a company of 500 people, I would think that's a huge business.
Not me, but I'm just asking the question for a micro business of maybe 4 employees, maybe 3.
I don't currently have the numbers on what sort of threshold is considered a micro business. For our loan fund, we have a micro lending. So if you're asking for 50,000 or less, that would be considered a micro loan with us at Cnha. So as far as that, that's one insight I can give. I need to do more on determining what those thresholds are. But again, our funding is coming from the most, or for this program particularly, is from the Small Business Administration. And so we're basically serving businesses that are considered small business and down to just the one LLC member managed companies or sole proprietors that are just on their own, or yeah.
Thank you.
It seems like most of the businesses that over the past 3 cohorts have been kind of playing a role is that have been, I don't know, the businesses have been like maybe 2 people, sometimes just the 1. So I think most of them would be maybe falling in that micro business category.
Yep, Dallas, it's a team of 2, her and her husband and her kids. But she has a lot of partners as well. I think the biggest company we had was a person with 25 employees, and they were actually an 8A graduate company. So they were one of the largest companies that came through our program. And I think the second largest organization that came through our program was Iolani Palace. And so everybody else has been either on their own as an sole operator, or a team of 5 at the most.
So Max, what if someone has a business, but none of the employees are currently taking a salary? Are they still eligible?
100%. The whole goal of the program is to show for folks who are not on salary at this point or not being paid, this is a program that definitely helps you figure out, okay, what do I need to be bringing in so that I can pay myself? And not just pay myself, pay for my medical, my taxes at the end of the year, my long-term savings, all of that stuff. that's really going to come into play during the business pricing calculator, business strategy and pricing calculator class with Ken Tyson. Anything else? Christiane, I know you came on. Hi, thanks for being here. The call is being recorded, so you can you'll be able to access the recording for anything you missed. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
Hello, thank you. Okay, we're gonna move. I'm gonna bring up another slide that just kind of breaks down the schedule real quick, give you guys some dates. All of these dates and times are also located in your application. It'll show all the dates that you need to commit to, and let's go through them now. So basically, round one starts on, if you're not an expert in, if you're not an expert currently in Zoom and Google Workspace, your program is going to start on June 7th. If you're good to go with Zoom and Google Workspace, then you're going to be queued up, ready to go for Tuesday, June 8th, our KūHana orientation. So round one is a quick 2 weeks, but it's intense. You're going to have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, KūHana orientation, company values, Hawaiian integration, website development, all from 5:30 to 8:30. If for some reason we get out a little bit early, then you'll be good to go. But I think out of all the classes that we've done so far, I think we were able to let people out like at 8:10, 8:20, you know. So it's a pretty intense 2 weeks, 3 days, or 2 weeks, 3 days, 3 days a week, Tuesday through Wednesday, or Tuesday through Thursday. And then, so this is the first week, and this is the second week of round one. At the end of June 17th, June 18th, the application for round two will commence. And the application for round two will be due on June 20. And then you'll be notified June 22nd if you got into round two. And this is the round two schedule. It's going to start on June 24. And it's going to go from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. It's going to revert to Mondays and Thursdays. Okay. And you'll see here, Thursday is orientation. Monday, we hit the ground running with business plan writing. You'll see here, July 2nd to July 9th. That's the period of time where you're going to be able to do a 30-minute check-in with me. It's a consultation. It's to make sure that you're on the right page, ready to go, to move on to the next part of the rest of the program. It's the July 4th weekend, so it's a holiday for most people. It's a 3-day weekend. So basically, this is your time to have your summer vacation, perhaps. It's a bit of a, we're being able to go out more and do more things, travel more. And so this is an opportunity for you folks to do that, and then just check in for 30 minutes with me as a program manager. Then we come back July 12th, and we run Monday, Thursday, Monday, Thursday, Monday, Thursday, all the way to August 5th, which is the KūHana Ho'ike. And that's when you're going to be presenting your business pitch. Any questions about the schedule and the time commitment? Okay. It's intense, but doable, workable. And it's just going to be a time, it's a 9-week period where you really have to stay on it as far as managing your time, knowing ahead of time what's going to happen in those 9 weeks for you. If you have a birthday, if you have, all this kind of family stuff, this is not the right time for you. We need people who are going to be there every single class, because each class builds upon the class before, and it's all going towards your business plan and your business pitch. Any need now there? We're wrapping up at our 6 o'clock time. I'm gonna just open the floor for any more questions. Luann, aloha.
Sorry. Well, I'm a little needy, but I'm asking, so you will send us, Hamal, you will send us reminder emails the day before that we can, just to remind us. Yes?
Remind you of the application that's due May 31st?
No, on these workshops. Remember, it's 9 weeks, yeah?
9 weeks.
So do you guys have an automated program that will send us an email the day before that we can just,
Correct. What I do that I found that works best for people is I send out calendar invites, and then your calendar invite will send you automatic reminders of class, and you'll be able to plan your schedule based off of the application. In the application, it's going to ask you, I've checked my schedule, I've seen all these times, and I'm going to plan ahead. That's going to show that I'm going to block off all these times to be a part of this program. I'm going to, it's definitely on you to be accountable for your time, and we do everything we can to support you. But like I said, the calendar invites are it's a really great tool, and people do very well with those. Christiane, you're on mute.
Okay. Aloha. I was wondering about the website development day. Could you go over, if you haven't already, what you do during that day?
It's going to be learning some high-level strategies with your website development. You'll be hearing from KūHana, KūHana Lei. Yeah, Dallas, all good. Thank you, Dallas, for being here. The website development is going to be taught to us by KūHana Lei Apau here at Cnha. She's our webmaster, and she develops a lot of websites herself. And so she's going to be sharing with us her secret sauce on best practices for website development.
All right. And then similarly, social media.
Correct.
Okay.
There will be a tool that's associated with social media development, and it's the calendar. It's a planning calendar where you can put in your entire year. What type of content should I be creating or shooting for to post, and then on what platforms?
Okay.
So that's going to be for that class. You're going to walk away with a tool that you can use for that one.
Okay, great.
Great question.
Thank you.
Right now, I'm going to post the actual link that goes straight to the Google application. I know some folks on here have already applied. I'm going to kind of stay on the call for folks who want to take a look at the application, and if they have any questions, they can let me know. But otherwise, if anyone has any other questions, I'm going to spend the rest of this time till 6 o'clock to answer them. But if not, I hope you've got a lot of good information. Shaw, you can hang around for a little bit, talk story, and then yeah, otherwise, if you have questions, stick around. Otherwise, ahui ho. You can start your application if you haven't already done so. Applications are due May 31st, and yeah, look forward to reviewing them. And yes, Hana, if you're there, any words from you, Coach Amy?
I was going to ask you another question if nobody else, since everybody's getting off.
Please.
I